Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are watching this in the world right now. I wanted to come in today and say hello to you and talk a little bit about accepting an idea and share a couple of little stories with you from the last 24 hours, because I'm sure you'll be able to resonate with it in some way, shape, or form. And it's to do with my goal and doing some work on my goal. Obviously, I'm here at consultant training at the moment over in Canada. I'm here in Canada working with Bob Proctor, training and teaching our consultants, but also taking some time out to really work on me, because we've always got to be growing. If we're not growing, we're going backwards. And so that's certainly what I've been doing over the last week. And what was really interesting, we were sitting around yesterday or the day before, and someone passed the comment, and I'm not sure whether it comes out of the chapter on persistence in Think and Grow Rich with Napoleon Hill. It possibly could. But he talks about a mastermind. He talks about surrounding yourself with people who will really support you and help you grow. And someone else said it's really important to make sure, like, you've got a good clique or a good group of people when you tell them your goal and they look at you like, huh? Is that it? As in, like, aren't you thinking anything bigger than that? And we all make each other do that. Really think bigger than what we're possible, or what we first thought we could do. And so this happened to me yesterday. So a very, very good friend of mine, Hina Khan, she flew over to Australia for my wedding. We met each other. We sat next to each other at an event 4.5 years ago. I was on stage presenting the day before. She was on stage the next day, and she was doing this exercise. She said, how much have you earned over the last 12 months? So how much have you earned in 2018? What are you on track to earn in 2019? Based on what you believe this material is worth, what do you think you should be earning? And then she made everybody in the audience double it. And my number was already pretty big, because I know that this material, what I do is life altering. I help a lot of people. And so my number was already pretty big. And then she goes, double it. And hello to everyone on Instagram as well. I'm streaming this across two platforms at the moment, but at least you get to listen in. And so she said, double it. And I verbalized, really? Which was coming from paradigm, right? That was coming from this little voice inside my head. And in front of everybody else, she goes, for Karen Brook, you can triple it. and that's why we love each other so much, because we really push each other, but we've gone from a 7 to an 8-figure goal like that instantly. And well, actually, yeah. And what happened next was I just went, I'm just going to accept it. Like, there's a reason why this has happened to me, because I had been playing around with numbers at that level, but I'd never fused with it. The paradigm so what is a paradigm? The paradigm is that mental programming. It's that beliefs. It's the old belief system that questions whether you can do the next level of what you want to get to. And so, like, I know in my vision of what I'm creating, we're talking 9 figures, 10 figures, but I hadn't fused with it. I hadn't accepted the idea. And yet spirit, intuition, was always feeding that to me. You know that's who you are, Karen. Like, that's the path you're meant to take. And I'd be like, yeah, but not there yet. Like, just, and anyway, and so I already had a very big goal, a very, very big goal. And in an instant, I was made to triple it. And instead of rejecting the idea and saying, well, that was just an exercise, my intuitive system, my guidance system said, you need to accept that idea, Karen. There is a reason why. In fact, in my feeling of yesterday was the entire reason why she did that visualization manifestation was universe trying to get a message to me. And that was what was going on. And I went, well, I've got 2 choices in this moment. I can just accept this idea and fuse with it instantly, or I can start to reject it. But I'm wise enough now, based on what I understand and what I know to be true, that if I question or doubt it, that is my paradigm. That is that mental programming. That is that old self-image that is questioning. And I know how this works now. So I just knew in that instant, well, this time I'm going to accept it. I'm just going to accept it and say, well, I don't really understand it at this point in time. I'm not sure what that looks like, but I'm going to accept the idea. And then today, like, the subconscious mind is so powerful. I think I said it on another video a couple of days ago. It's like you're working with an ant in your conscious mind and an elephant in your subconscious mind. It is so powerful. Now, if you don't learn how to use it properly, it can create things that you didn't really mean to create in your life, but you did it. When you learn to use it and understand how to harness the power of your mind, you can create magnificent things. And so today I was writing out, I'm on day 118 today of writing out my goal with my opposite hand. You might have seen me on Instagram doing this repetition exercise of I write out an affirmation around my C-type goal, which is my fantasy goal. We talk about that in lesson 1 of Thinking into Results, that the C-type goal is what you would love, but you don't know how to do it. And the reason why it's so important that you need one of those goals is because in the absence of a clearly defined picture, the mind is in a chaotic state, and we need to be able to organize the mind, and it needs to be a picture of growth. Otherwise, we're just internalizing energy and thoughts that are more of the same, more of the same, more of the same, and we're not able to grow. And so I've been writing out 118 days, an affirmation around my goal. Very specific, exactly what it is. So I write it out with my good hand, and then I write it out with my opposite hand. And then what happened today was I was writing out this goal affirmation, and then all of a sudden the financial figure, no, what actually happened before that, in that affirmation, 180 days, part of that says, I'm so happy and grateful now that I'm receiving new clients daily with ease. And then I thought, I wonder whether I should have a number. Like, and I do, I mean, I have people coming to me every day wanting to work with me. But I thought, just honestly, I was sitting there this morning, I thought maybe I should put a number on that. Maybe I should put the number 10. And I was like, I'm not sure. I'll just keep writing. Anyway, I just wrote it. And then I started to write it out with my opposite hand. And the first thing that happened was the weekly figure, instead of writing, I'm so happy and grateful now that I'm easily earning a week, my subconscious mind, without me even thinking about it, wrote a day. And then I started the next sentence, and I turned to my colleague and said, oh my God, look at what just happened here. And you know what? The a day figure is exactly the 10 clients, that 10 times figure. And then I went, holy moly, that adds up to exactly the 3 times figure from the day before. I mean, like, my subconscious mind, my cybernetic mechanism just took over. It was so automatic. I didn't even think about it. And it was lining everything up for me. One, boom, boom, boom. And I just went, I can fight this. I can look at that and say that number is too big. I have no idea. I could have in that moment done that. That would have been paradigm. That would have been the old self-image. That would have been chipping away at my self-esteem ladder. And you can't do that to yourself. So I know this because I've been that girl 2 or 3 years ago who would get an idea like this and I would reject it. I'd think, I'm not there yet. It's too big for me. I can't do it, until I got into this and I started to study. I started to understand it. And so I sat there and I was like, whoa, I wasn't thinking in those dimensions, but there's a reason why this has just happened. I am completely in alignment right now. I'm in this vibration. I'm with these people. I'm experiencing praxis. So I've studied and I believe I can do certain things, and my subconscious mind is just taking over. It's just putting me in harmony with exactly what I need right now. And so I went, well, I'm going to accept the idea. I'm going to accept the idea. That's what I'll start to think about, and not reject it and not keep myself small. And let me rephrase. The number wasn't small to begin with, but the number is much bigger now. And then I thought, well, everything I believe is true. That's fact. Everything you believe is truth for you. So actually, everything I believe is true. Well, I believe that is true for me. I believe that is what I'm earning every day. I believe I'm receiving that amount of clients every single day with ease. They're just showing up. And as my belief systems change, my expectations change and the results change, not by effort, but by this law of non-resistance. So I'm not questioning it. I'm not doubting it. I'm not saying that's too big for me. I'm not ready. I'm totally receptive in this receptive state. And I can be like that because I have faith, because I really know how all of this fits in together. And so I want you to really think about that and remember that when you're tuned in, how do you know when you're tuned in? When you're really thinking about what you want rather than where you are or why you can't do things. You're actually just thinking about what you would love and what you would want. And you start to get ideas. Don't reject them because they're leading you down the pathway. Steve Jobs has a famous quote, famous saying. He says, you cannot connect the dots looking forward. You can only connect the dots looking backwards. And I've used that so many times in the last 24 hours, explaining to people what has happened in my life over the last 6 months. I said, I've been in situations, I've experienced massive growth. I mean, I've gone from 6 or 7 months ago with myself, with a part-time employee, 10, 15 hours a week, to a team of like 12 in less than 6 months. And when I look back on every one of those things that's happened, I was just following the guidance. I'm like, why did I start reading that book? Why did I start writing with my opposite hand? Why did I make the decision that we're going to do that? Why did something in my personal life happen? But it was all necessary. All of those things are necessary to help me get to my C-type goal. And I know that because I understand how this works, but I can really easily connect every dot looking backwards. And that's what I just love about this. So I've just completely in the last 24 hours accepted these ideas. Nothing is big nor small unless you make it so. It's as easy to 3 times your goal and accomplish it as it is to order vanilla ice cream. Right? It's as easy as. That's the way you want to be thinking about this. It's effortless. Law of non-resistance. Another little thing on that. Think about the law of non-resistance. How many of you have manifested that car park that you want? And you have. You're like, there's going to be a car park right out the front of the building, and I'm going to get it. And how many times do you get it? You always get it. Why? Because it wasn't a life and death situation. There was no money riding on it. Like, if you got the car park, you got the car park. If you didn't get the car park, you didn't get the car park. That's the law of non-resistance. And so you got to let it flow. You have to let it flow. And you can, as easy as you did that with a car park, you can do it with manifesting a $1 million home. As easy you did that with a car park, you can do it with turning your annual income into your monthly income, taking the holiday, doing whatever it is that you want to do. Like this is how this works. So anyway, this afternoon, so just to kind of recap, if you've just joined me, you'll need to go back to the start of this to kind of get the full gist of what this story is all about around accepting the idea. But I was in a visualization exercise that I am 100% certain the entire environment was created for me to get a message. And that message was to multiply what was my goal by 3. And then today I was doing an exercise where all of a sudden, instead of writing out my weekly goal, it became a daily goal. And then all of a sudden I realized that what I just written as a daily goal adds up to exactly what the goal was if I had the 3 times goal from yesterday. So my built-in goal-seeking device that I have built in me, it's called your servo mechanism. It was already finding the path for me. I didn't even have to try. And this is the thing, we think we have to try. We think we have to work really hard to get great results. We don't. We just have to know how to work in harmony with the law. And so this afternoon, I was sitting down and I was back in the seminar room and I was doing some more writing, and I thought, you should go away on a holiday. You should go on a holiday. You should go on a holiday next week. You should take you and your family somewhere really nice. You should go and like stay somewhere near the beach, possibly in an estate, somewhere that's like the one you're going to buy. And I thought, that's a really good idea. For a second, my paradigm, that mental programming, that self-image, that thing that keeps you stuck, went, oh, but you've only just got back over from overseas, Karen. Like, you don't need to go away again. Like, just get in there, weekend at home. And I was like, no. That was an idea that came to me in this creative space. I have to accept it. So I straight away messaged my husband. I said, you're free next weekend, aren't you? I'm going to book us a weekend away. And so I am. I'm going to find somewhere beautiful, somewhere luxurious, somewhere that I can be completely in the vibration, in the feeling of this estate by the beach that I'm going to buy. And, you know, we'll go away and we'll take the next step. And you've just got to, when you really know and trust and understand how all this works, you can have faith in these ideas and you can act on them. And I've received, when you're in this creative space, when you're working in this way, like you have to accept the idea. Now, you won't accept the idea if you don't understand what's happening. You won't accept the idea. You'll accept what the paradigm tells you if you don't understand how this works. And the paradigm is designed to keep you where you're at. The paradigm is designed to keep you where you're at. In fact, I've already sent an email off to my assistant last night to get a quote for flying completely privately from Brisbane to Toronto for next consultant training in September. Usually I fly business class. I fly business class the whole way. And I was like, that's comfortable now. That's comfortable. Like, you're going to have to change it up. And so I messaged my assistant last night and I said, contact this person and get them to give you an indication, get them to look at the pricing for 8 people so I can take my family and my team with me to my next training here in September. And we fly privately, private jet from Brisbane to Toronto. And so, you know, when you get those ideas, you have to move on them. You have to explore them. You have to accept the idea that you're being guided. This is the thing that people don't understand. They start with the, how can I do it? And they spend all their time trying to figure out how they can do it instead of deciding what you want, creating the belief that it's done, and then moving into action and receiving, like just understanding to accept the guidance that you're receiving, follow your intuition, and, you know, and take that next step. And the path is being carved for you. And I can say that because I've experienced it. And you won't know why all of these things are happening in the exact order that they're happening in until you do get to a certain point on the other side where you've started to experience that freedom and things lining up for you, and you'll look back and think, wow, all of that was so necessary to teach me a very important piece that I needed to understand, or I need to understand to be able to accomplish what I want next. And so you just accept it. And you follow these stepping stones that have been perfectly laid out for you with no resistance. It is being shown to you. But the paradigm screws you up. So a great question was asked on stage. How do you know whether it's intuition or paradigm, whether it's that little voice inside your head trying to keep you safe? He said, intuition is always there first, and paradigm comes second to question it. So what excuses or alibis or reasons are your paradigms giving you as to why you can't do what you want to do? That's the paradigm. Okay, so accept the idea and fuse with it, even though you might not understand it, you might not know how, and then watch the magic unfold in your life. All right, have a beautiful day wherever you are in the world, and I'll talk to you again really soon. Bye-bye.